I feel like my life, specifically in this panoramic, is constantly teaching me the lesson that yes, everything absolutely can get worse. Even when I think it can't, it absolutely positively can. Did I have to do the grueling task of going to the Department of Motor Vehicles in order to get a new ID, which they did not give me because I printed out a bank statement that was 3 days too old for them to accept? Sure, and it sucked. But did God and his merry band of misfits then immediately humble my dumb ass by making me immediately get sick for days on end, which caused me to think I have the big C and made me write a literal will like the most dramatic dandelion ever? Yes, it absolutely did. And did I think that this story was bad enough when I thought it was just parents of 2 kids forcing them to pretend like they were in an online relationship for content? Yep, but now we are going to add a wedding to it? I hate everything and I wish I could get off of this ride. Please, I no longer fear death. I am good with this. Hey guys, it's Shannon and I hope you are having a wonderful day today. I hope you had the mental energy to get up, brush your teeth, drink some water, and be productive because you deserve it. But if you didn't and you are going through a depressive episode today or simply do not feel like being perceived, that is more than all right too. I feel like lately there's this emphasis on the idea that people need to be productive to be worthwhile, and I'm here to tell you, no, you don't. If you woke up and did nothing today but turn in your bed, watch YouTube videos, and fart in your sheets, that is more than valid. That is enough. I don't think that's talked about enough right now. Being a human being, especially right now, is hard, and I hope you find comfort in your farts. I really do. Today, I'm going to be talking once again about Milana and Pasha, aka the 8-year-old influencer who got famous on the Indonesian version of TikTok called Likey, and her 13-year-old boyfriend, who a lot of you commented looks like he's related to her and is her brother. And you know what? You're not wrong. You are actually insanely correct, and that just makes it worse. It makes this whole situation worse. I am going to be talking about a couple things that I have been made aware of after my video dropped, go over how this quote couple continues to disturb me and more, but before I do that, I do want to thank today's sponsor, water. Please, if you haven't today, please drink some water. It won't clear your skin or cure your depression, but it will make you pee, and isn't that kind of the same thing? For real though, I do just want to quickly shout out a person who I think deserves a whole heck of a lot of support, that being BB Lucille. You might recognize BB from the ARG series, I Am Sophie, which gained a massive amount of success. But what you might not know is that BB is now my girlfriend. That's right, I donated money to her project and the reward was a Tinder date, and so now we are dating. It's official, it's a thing, I adore her. She recently made a GoFundMe for her one-woman show called Meet Cute, which she will be performing in May and June, which she wrote and is acting in all herself. Personally, I am all for supporting the arts, especially theater, because it's such a unique and valuable form of expression that often gets overlooked for some reason. And while people have been creative during this panoramic, I really want to support theaters opening back up safely again. If you are in the position to, I am going to go ahead and link her GoFundMe in the description box down below for you guys to go check out and support if you are in the position to. If you're not, that's completely fine. Go support her over on Instagram by just leaving her some kind words, but otherwise, again, check her out. Also, like, she's my girlfriend, so I'd appreciate that. With that being said, let me get into this video. So, Milana and Pasha, the 8-year-old and 13-year-old social media stars in Ukraine who are dating because the world is terrible and people will do literally anything for fame. What's new with them? Well, I guess not new, but new to me. You see, after I uploaded my video, I was met with a plethora of comments telling me that Milana's father had come out and was talking about his feelings towards the whole relationship, along with more reports of the couple's actions. And frankly, it just gets worse. So much worse than it already was. Once again, a lot of the reports talking about this situation are not from the United States, because I guess child brides and marriages over here, that's normal. I'm not kidding. Child marriages are legal in 46 states. Not a joke. Also, I'm old enough to remember what happened to Courtney Stodden in the public eye and how Chrissy Teigen bullied her. But a lot of the articles I am going to be referencing are actually from Australia because they have a lot of coverage of this. First things first, it wasn't enough that the 8-year-old and 13-year-old are dating, making TikToks where he literally looms over her, trying to look romantic but only drawing attention to the fact that she is small and fragile because she's 8. That wasn't enough for their social media managers, apparently, because according to this article, rumors started to spread that Mila and Pasha were actually living together. You heard that right. People were saying that these two were living together and they had moved in together, which is why there were photos of them together in bed. And that photo where Mila was in her underwear, brushing her teeth while Pasha was shackled to her. And much like all the other rumors about this couple, I'm willing to bet that the source of speculation goes right back to Mila's mother, who is raking in the dough from this relationship and who sees absolutely nothing wrong with it. Never mind the fact that he's literally twice her size and she looks more like a little sister than anything. Apparently everything's fine in her eyes. Some people really, sincerely should not be parent. People couldn't wrap their heads around why this would be deemed as okay, and with the amount of photos and videos and everything that they were posting together that was coming out, people tried to rationalize it by saying, well, okay, maybe this 13-year-old child and this 8-year-old child, maybe they are just simply living together, even though they can't legally drive, like, ugh. Maybe that's what's going on, and we can call the police or someone to put a stop to this. That's what people were thinking, and in response, Milana's mother came out and said, hey guys, I know you're big mad that I keep exploiting my 8-year-old kid and posting her in inappropriate clothing and pandering to predators. I know you're mad about that. I get it. I hear you. But good news, my daughter hasn't actually moved in with her 13-year-old boyfriend. So it's fine. It's fine, guys. I haven't crossed that boundary yet. It's just, so give me a break, right? Oh my God. If the only leeway you can get is like, I didn't let my 8-year-old move in with her boyfriend, then like, no, I'm sorry. You're still terrible. All of those photos together with her in bed with him, whatnot, they were just from when she stayed over at his house because we're all family friends. We just let them sleep in the same bed and do all that stuff. They didn't actually move in together, so don't worry about that. I don't even know anymore. Like, I really don't. Also, what is the opposite of infantilization? Because what's happening here is it. I get it. Milana has 7 million followers, a thriving career as a model, and is doing well for herself. And again, like I said last video, when I say for herself, I mean she's doing well for her mother and for the people who are pushing her to do this because she's an 8-year-old. She would much rather be playing with dolls than doing this because she has no concept of money or responsibility. She's a child. Mila is more established in her 8 years than I will ever be until I die. But just because she is probably making bank and doing well, that doesn't mean that she, an 8-year-old, has the capacity to move out, sign a lease, and live with someone. She's not even old enough to be in charge of her own diet, much less be responsible to sign a legally binding marriage contract or lease. And then there is Pasha, who despite being 5 years older, is still not old enough to do that. In my last video, I focused a lot on Milana and her age, but the idea that a 13-year-old is somehow better and mature enough for these, that's laughable. We have to laugh. No, we don't, because it's so gross I can't even function. But you know what? That was just a rumor. It's not like Milana's mother heard that rumor and got the brilliant idea to then stage a wedding between these two literal children. It's not like she did that, right? Oh, she did? Of course she did. Because she is out here exploiting her daughter for fame and money, and how does one up posting photos of her underwear with her 5 years older boyfriend? You get the 8-year-old to marry the 13-year-old in what can only be called a disturbing display of stupidity. As it stands now, Milana's father, who divorced Mila's mother and does not have custody of her, obviously has come out publicly against what is happening, restoring just a slight bit of my faith in humanity. And according to the article at news.com.au, which I don't know the validity of, Mila's manipulative and exploitive mother has been questioned by the police over the photos, rightfully so in my opinion, and prosecutors have actually opened a case against her regarding the distribution of them, which they labeled as undesirable material. You know what I'm talking about. Frankly, I can only hope that Mila's dad is able to step in and take custody and make sure this stops. This reminds me so much of all the other young girls in media, on social media, whatever, who are exploited by their parents in the same way. The people who are supposed to protect them the most. Like, it's so tragic that this keeps happening. I know people think I'm a pessimist or dramatic, but I am fully wary of any parent at all parading their child on social media around at this point, because this right here is what it leads to. Money and fame seems to corrupt so completely, and I am disgusted by it. With that being said, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I am out of here. Later days.